Good evening and welcome to our first virtual live Meet the Artist event at a special place. Very excited to be seeing all of you again. We wish we could have you in the store like we normally do, but very happy to be able to meet one way or another. I'm super excited about tonight's featured artist. It is Amanda Greenlee. She has been with us for quite a while. She actually has bracelets and scarves in the store, but today she's going to be doing something different. We're going to be featuring a piece of art geared towards kids, but really fun for anyone to do. You can create so many different effects, and she'll show you an example of a different one as we're creating tonight. But very excited, and it involves balloons, so great for your kids. Interactive, keep them entertained when everyone's getting stir crazy, for those of you who are still choosing to stay home quite a bit. Anyways, here's Amanda.
Good evening. How is all the virtual world out there? It's kind of how we're living these days. I just wanted to share a little bit about this project with you. Again, Michelle said that this is something that can be done with kids, but I have adults all excited about doing this. It's fun. Yes, it's balloons. No, it's not that messy. We're not going to be popping balloons with darts or anything crazy like that. It's actually called balloon printing. And as she showed you before, I have one that was done by me for one of my nephews, actually. And he did an amazing piece. I wish I had that with me here, but his mom and dad have that. And they turn out completely different. And it's very difficult to tell that, hey, that's a kid. You know, sometimes I wish mine had turned out like his. So all we're going to need, okay, we're going to have these balloons, which I've already blown up. And we have paints. We have, Michelle and I have chosen to do two paints. So we've mixed the blue and green to make, the blue and yellow to make a green. And then we also have blue and yellow. As you're going to see, as we continue doing this, you want them to kind of go together too. So they'll make their own little design as well. So I'm going to pull this out here. I have gone to the Dollar Tree or any of those little stores a while ago and gotten a really inexpensive tin, muffin tin. And that is where we put our balloons. And this one we're not using. I like to have the different color balloons so that, especially if you know what colors you're going to be using. In this instance, we're not using red, but we are using blue, we're using yellow, and we're using green. So that's how we do it. All you do is you just squirt your paint right into the bottom of the tin. You don't want to go too high. But you do want to go high enough that you're going to be picking up some of that paint, okay? So I'm going to pick one of these up and kind of show you. That's what you're going to have right on the end there, okay? That's what you want it to look like, okay? Depending on if you get too much paint in the bottom of that tin, you're going to kind of want to roll it around so that it doesn't do that. If it gets to be to a point where it's way too much paint and you say, oh no, I messed up, all you have to do is grab a piece of tin foil. Just like if you're stamping and you get too much ink and you kind of want to blot it, you're just going to pick that balloon up and you're just going to blot it on that tin foil until you get a little what you want. Now, there are a couple different techniques you can use with this. You can actually repaint, re-dip your balloon in the paint every time. I like to continue dabbing until the paint kind of dissipates and it gives a really neat look. Then you take your next color and you do the same thing. You can separate the colors and then you can start adding them together however you want to do that. So I think we're going to go ahead and get started. And let me move this stuff right out of here, these extra balloons. And we're going to move our camera so you can see what we're doing, okay? All right, let's see if you guys can see that pretty well. I think that's going to be good, as long as I don't go off the table and get too crazy with my stamping here. Okay, so we are going to start with our blue first. And all we do, I'm going to just kind of show you this. We're just going to pick it up. Make sure there's not too much on there. There's a little bit more, but that's okay. That even makes it better. So you're just going to press straight down, kind of move it around a little bit, straight back up. That's all you're going to do. Now, I, for one, like to do it in several different places, and you'll see that it starts to make lighter colors until it eventually kind of dissipates, okay? And if you want that, sometimes I think, oh, I don't want that much, so I'll just put a little bit on that one, redo my balloon that way without actually putting it in the tin. And then I just continue. And then I'm going to switch to my next color, okay? So then we're going to do our yellow next.
I think that's a great idea.
Okay. Now again, like we did here, that was a little bit too much for me. So I'm going to choose to take it over here and I'm just going to dab it. Boop, maybe not. Thank you, Michelle. Okay, just a little bit so that I've got a little less on there, okay? And then we're just going to do it, and I'm not going to combine them just yet. Maybe a little bit more. I'm going to get it from my tin foil this time since that's a little less. We're going to go again over here. It's kind of an abstract thing, but it's pretty cutesy. Okay. Now we're going to take our green. As you can see, I'm running out of some white space, so we may start to blend here, and that's okay. Because eventually I think I'm going to choose to blend that whole thing. Let's see. All right, so we're going to go green. And it's just pick up. I'm going to get a little more from here. And as you can see, it's kind of a neat little, you can go all the way off, halfway off, however you want to go about that. And now I'm going to pick up my blue again, and I'm going to do the same thing where I'm dabbing it off on my tin foil, because I'm going to start to blend a little bit here. And it's going to get a little bit more interesting, at least in my eyes. It's not always saying much. Okay, let's see here. All right, we're just going to start going everywhere now, and we're going to start blending some of these things all together. Get a little bit more there. And depending on how you do this, there's also another possibility of, see, we're getting some of those blending with our blues and yellows. There's also another way that you can do it where you actually take your balloon and you put it in two different colors, kind of like an art acrylic pour, but it's not the same thing. We go ahead and do both colors, and then you put it down at the same time. Oh, that's not the right one. Let's go back to our yellow here. Let's see what we can do. All right, let's just go crazy. Why not? So we're just getting, and it'll start to mix on your balloon too, which gives it a whole nother look too. Now you can stop here, or you can cover your whole painting. We haven't done green for a few minutes. Let's do some green. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you. And I've seen, actually in hotels, I've seen paintings like this in hotels, which, you know, maybe that's how they do it. I have no idea. There we go. And it just blotches out all the extra spots. If you want to cover the whole thing, you can do so. Again, the one that my nephew did, which I thought was amazing, it looked like purple grapes. He did green and purple, and he left a lot of white, and it looked really cool that way. And this is, as you can tell, something that's fun for the kids to do, and they really enjoy it. They really enjoy it. Or it's something fun for you to do, and you can do it in different ways. We have another one if you want to do different colors, or if you want to do more pours. But this is basically the gist of it. I don't know if you can see that. There you go. It's kind of a simple, fun little project that you can do. And I think we're going to do one more for you guys. And we're going to do it in a different way, where we're going to add the paints all in the same thing, so it's kind of like a pour. So that when you do your balloon, when you dip your balloon, okay, it'll have the main color and then the secondary color. And you can even do that by dipping in one then the other. Okay, so we're going to do that now. Let's have our, thank you, ma'am. Got it? Mm-hmm. Thank you. Beautiful, white and bright. And we are going to do some reds and oranges this time. Maybe if I can open my red.
Can I play with this for a minute?
Absolutely, please do. Michelle's going to take the painting we just did, and she's going to kind of mess around with that a little bit and see what she comes up with. See if I can get all my red out of here. Let's get some orange. I will probably use my yellow balloon for my orange, since it's already got yellow with it. I'll make it kind of fun. Get this out of the way for you. Okay, so I'm going to dip this into red first and get some red. Perfect. And then I'm going to put it right into my orange, so I'm blending those right off the bat. And you'll be able to see, I'm going to spend a little more time on these. I want a little bit more orange in here. Let's see if I can't get some more orange on there. There we go. And if you look real closely, I'm going to hold this up a little bit. If you look real closely, you can see kind of that textured part of the balloon print, which is kind of fun too. That's one thing the kids really like to see. All right, let's see. And I'm getting messy now, which is kind of part of the fun. Get a little bit more red. Maybe we'll throw some yellow in there. I think we can throw some yellow in here too. And like I enjoy doing it this way, and then kind of like Michelle's doing on the other one that we just did. She's putting a little bit. Do you care if I go in that yellow, or are you still using that yellow?
Yeah, go for it.
Okay. I don't want to mess with her groove, man. You just do little bits and pieces. It's almost like, do you guys remember back when sponge painting was such a big deal? This is, you know, kind of like that. I love that, Michelle. That's gorgeous.
I'm sneaking.
Yeah, absolutely.
So you see the difference effect you get depending on what you do with the balloon there.
Mm-hmm. So I really like to do the whole thing just to kind of go off those sides. I even had some of the students who didn't like this white on the side, so they went all the way around the side just like that. Super fun, super simple. You get a different experience every time, which is really fun. Different colors make it look like different things. I've been told that the piece that I had done before looked like peaches. That's what we called it, peaches. A bushel of peaches. And that's this one right here. And if you look at it, it's kind of what it looks like. Now that, I think my father said that actually, that it looked like peaches. And now I can't stop seeing peaches in that. I'm sure that has nothing to do with the fact that that was my nickname as a child. Peaches. It's a good deal. This is a lot of fun. Like I said, it's real simple to do. And I know, just like we're doing this virtual meeting with the artist today, a lot of us either can't go out or we need to isolate ourselves. However you are living currently, school is also out. So now not only were we kind of stuck not being able to do some things, I know in Ohio some of the pools aren't even going to open for this summer. So, you know, you find yourselves, what can I do with my kids that would engage them, but at the same time, you know, they're not stuck in front of the TV all day, or they're not getting bored of playing with water guns in the front yard, or however it is. This is something fun that's also lasting, and it'll help you remember the times that you guys had together during this difficult time. Let's see. Get this out of the way there. There we go. Michelle's got hers picked up too now. Now it's a race to see who finishes.
I have a feeling I will lose this one.
So, oops. Hopefully, I just felt my balloon start to lose some air there. Let's hope that doesn't happen. Then we will be popping balloons, and no one needs that today. So a lot of different things, a lot of different textures within this. Especially if you're using those different colors like the yellows, and you want to do a little spot of yellow in addition. When you've got all the red down there, you want to do some more yellow, just little pops, you know. See where we get with that, maybe. Try again. There we go. And when you just go straight up and down, it's got that neat texture forming there. I've got one little spot here in the corner it doesn't want to fill, but that's all right. And then we can do our sides to kind of make it. And this is simple. These are straight up water balloons. These are straight up water balloons that we have had in our garage for a long time. And I'm very proud to say this, I only broke one when I was prepping for this. Only broke one. Michelle, you want to bring that around and show everybody? While I finish this goofiness that I have going. So I think that looks really cool. I'm a lover of these colors. I'm a lover of oranges, and any of my students will tell you, any of my family members and friends will tell you, I love orange and yellow. Absolutely love it. And so anytime I can use that, that's what I want to use. So, and as you see, as it starts to dry a little bit, as we've gone through some of these, you see the white spots that start to pop up. And so you can just go back over, if you can, and get those just popping right up and down right on top of it. And again, sometimes people like to keep a little bit of that white showing. There's a little bit on Michelle's, which I think is really cool too. Just a little bit of that showing. And I think that's about
I like the fact that this became mine, even though.
Yeah, heck yeah. No, I love it. It's all what you make it. You start with a base, and the great thing about this project is if you don't like it, it's never wrong. It's never wrong. You can keep going, and if it gets too much, then you can say, look, I've got a great backdrop for my next painting. You know, you can paint on top of it.
Well,
so.
I actually love the look of these, and I think it would be really fun. I'm going to
please.
a little bit. But I love the look of these and think it would be really fun to take something like this and actually maybe paint, or if you don't feel like you have a steady hand, you could even stencil some words over it. A favorite saying, a quote.
Bible verse.
Yeah, so whatever works, something your child could pick out would be really neat.
Even some of our Cricut users out there could even do a little
The
something
vinyl
on there,
over it,
depending.
absolutely, yeah. So I just thought it made a really neat background for things like that.
Yeah.
And they're always going to be different. So
Yeah, I mean, we've got 3 very different ones right here.
when I
Now,
love
even though these two
Same
are
colors.
the same colors, they're very different. This one is much more circular. You know, you can really see the circles, and this is a little less so, but they're very different, same colors. I really still see peaches. Thank you, Dad.
So thank you everyone for joining us. I will try and look at the questions and see if there's anything that we need to respond to and do it. It's kind of hard with the phone and while we're
Tripod.
working on it. Yes, with it tilted down at the table. A little hard to stick my face in there and read all these. Also want to let everybody know that I am going to try and talk Amanda into bringing some of these into the store. So if you don't want to do the project yourself, you can come pick one up already done if you like the look. All right, thank you so much for joining us. Thank you, Amanda, for being our guest.
Thanks for having me.
And we look forward to doing more Meet the Artist going forward, and hope all of you can join us. Thanks so much. Bye-bye.